Hey, and welcome back to yet another prediction video. I will give my picks for this card, and also my parlay at the end of the video. So, let's get straight into the early prelims, where we have Santos against Diaz, and I will actually Santos to win this fight. A pretty risky fight to include in your parlay, but Diaz is not good in my opinion despite having to lose against great opponents. Next fight we have Marion Santos versus Marshall, and my pick will be Santos. He is the better striker of them and more technical, while Marshall is more of the wrestler type, but still not the best at it. Should be closer than the betting odds say, but my pick will still be Santos. Next up we have another easy pick in my opinion. It's Alex versus Carlos, and my pick will be Carlos. All I have to say is, I'm not picking Alex. He is a bum. Next up we have the first interesting fight of the card, and it's Bruno versus Armen. Bruno is the underdog, and I will be picking him, because both are primarily strikers and will keep it on the feet. Bruno is the more aggressive one with a lot of power, while Armen is the better technical fighter. A risky fight to include in your parlay, but I would pick Bruno to win this fight, and will have him in my parlay personally. The next fight is Joshua Van versus Ray, another great fight, who will probably go to a decision, but I will pick Van, even though Ray is a very good wrestler and grappler who could win this by just taking Van down. But Van is much better on the feet, and could piece Ray up easily if he just manages to defend his takedown. So it all depends who is better at their specific martial art, but I will lead more towards Van. Very close though. Now for the final fight of the prelims, we have a heavyweight fight, where Rizvan will be making his UFC debut against Curtis, and Curtis is the big favorite in this fight, but I will actually not pick him to win this fight. I just think he has lost his chin, and also, his time in the top 5 is slowly coming to an end. Realistically, Curtis should knock Rizvan out in the first round, if we look at the competition between the two, but I just have a feeling Rizvan will be able to win this fight. Because of that, he is more athletic and is well-rounded. Good stand-up, good wrestling and grappling. Will be a fun fight nonetheless, but I will actually go ballsy and pick the underdog fighter in Rizvan to win. I don't recommend putting this into your parlay though. Now into the main card starting with Bobby Green against Ruffy. I will keep it simple and say I will be picking Ruffy. Realistically, he should be able to knock Bobby out. If he is really as legit as people think, Bobby will probably find some success in the fight, but if Ruffy is really that good, then he should make it look easy. Then for the next fight, we actually have a banger between Jalen Turner and Ignacio, a very good fight, and a really hard one to predict. But I will lead more towards Ignacio for this one. My reason is that Turner has had it rough recently, especially after that fight against Renato, so I can't really pick Turner here. It is either he will get in there and get finished again, or he is here to prove a point and get a finish himself. But I trust Ignacio more, and he also trains with the current welterweight champion Bilal, who is helping him, and should come out victorious. Then now, for the next two final fights staring with Justin versus Rafael is a very good fight, but also a very hard fight to pick. It's a lot going on. Rafael is the favorite, and the only reason I can see that is because people saw Justin get knocked out in his last fight, which automatically makes them think he is all washed and will be knocked out again, which could happen but I don't think is the case. Then on the other hand, you have Rafael, who comes of a long layoff where he got injured badly, and is currently on a 2-loss streak, one of them coming from Justin in a very close fight, where he won the first round, and the second was really close. But Justin stole that second round, and won the third clearly, by fighting behind his back. Also important to notice that Rafael did gas out, which made him lose that fight, and now stepping in on short notice should realistically mean he will lose by the same way, again considering all the things he has to his disadvantage coming into this fight. But this sport ain't a sport of logic, so I wouldn't be surprised if Rafael knocked Justin out. But my final prediction will be Justin by decision. He just can't lose when having a good layoff and having a full training camp compared to Rafael. If Rafael did have a full camp, then I would have picked him to win. Now, for the main event, Alex versus Magomed, another very good fight and hard fight to predict. But I will keep it short and simple, and say I will be picking Magomed to win this fight, either by ground and pound finish or a decision. Only way Alex can win this is by a knockout, but I can't see Magomed getting knocked out to be honest. He will be able to mix it up to the point Alex will feel useless in the later rounds. If he doesn't land, then brutal leg kicks. So this is my prediction for this card, and in terms of fights I would suggest to put in your parlay. I would say both of the Santos, Carlos, Ruffy Magomed are pretty good for a parlay, but if you want to put in a risky fight for better odds, then I would suggest either Bruno, Ignacio, or Rizvan. See you in the next one.